Hey everybody, this is Doc Mack from the Galloping Ghost Arcade out in Brookfield, Illinois. Today we are here, it's Wednesday, wow, October 23rd, 2019, and we are here with another Galloping Ghost podcast. Of course, I am joined, as always, by former Gamer of the Year, Pete Hahn. And
that was on cue. I went like this, and you went like that.
We practiced all afternoon. Yeah. We should have got it right.
And we have our special guest today, Paul Niemeyer, the industry legend who has worked on so many great games, worked on so much cabinet art, so much iconic artwork that has stuck with so many people over the years. And we've talked about Paul on Monday Mystery before. We've had him out to the arcade, and it has been it's been great. There's still even though we've got to chat a little bit, I have so many questions. We have you've got so many amazing stories, and it's always just an honor and a privilege to chat with you about your work in the industry and everything that you have going on.
Wow, thank you. What a great lead-in, man. Well, I'm going to hire you as my publicist. Stuff I'm using is crap.
Well, it's very much deserved. It's, again, anytime some people walk into the arcades, I've seen people look at arcade cabinets, and it's obviously, like, people love the games, but the visuals of the cabinets themselves have so much impact on people, and it's changed so much over the years, and people are going with candy cabinets, and there's so much less artwork, but the images that you created just created this perfect thing. It was just so amazing to see. Arcade cabinet artwork for me it's just all part of it. It's the game. It's everything. So programmers.
It's the first thing. You know, I mean, my background is a lot of advertising, and we'd always stress the logo was the biggest thing because you don't get a second chance at a first impression,
For sure.
And that's the first thing you're going to be seeing every time. So, that header art, that side art, whatever it was that was going to be the visual, that was going to be what was going to draw you in. That had to be on point. It just had to be. There was no way around it.
Yeah. Well, and usually we start the show with covering stuff about the last week. I know we're a little short on time, so let's just jump right in and talk to Paul because, I don't want to waste a minute.
Okay.
And again, can you name off some of the cabinets that you've worked on?
Okay. Well, obviously Mortal Kombat. Satan's Hollow. That was great because that was all my own artwork, and actually all of the Bally people had just come over and they had melded the two art departments, Bally and Midway. And I and Larry Dabeck were about the only ones that were the Midway people. So all these pinball gods were showing up, and we thought, we are never going to get a game. We're going to be just sweeping up after these guys for the rest of our career. But it wasn't that way at all. Paul Ferris, he was awesome. He came to me and offered up this game. He said, "Hey, I think this is for you. I see you doing this whole thing and putting it in your capable hands." I was 24.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, "Wow, Paul Ferris thinks I'm good. Maybe I'm good. I might be. Let's give that a shot." So anyway, Satan's Hollow. That's probably my. That one has my heart. That one always has my heart.
So Satan's Hollow, I originally had a cabaret cabinet, and it was...
You mean personally or for the arcade one?
For the arcade.
Okay.
When we opened, we part of the first 113 machines that we got had a cabaret Satan's Hollow, and loved the game, but having seen the full upright one with that side art and just everything, the presentation was, even though I had it, I had to have the upright. I had to have the full size one because that's what I saw back in the day, and it was just so iconic, everything about it. Like, how was it designing that?
Well, you just give me full reign on it. That was the great thing about working back then is it was kind of like shooting from the hip. You know, it was like, this is your assignment, and you just went off and did it. It was just you. It wasn't a team of 15 people that would, go into, subgroups to come up with, because that's how it is now. It's funny, I just was at Portland, Oregon, Portland
The Retro
Gaming Expo. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And in my panel, somebody asked that. They said, well, how do you compare, production and the way they go about production now as compared to then? Well, I'm not really in the gaming field now so much, but I'm definitely in advertising still, and it's all done exactly the same way. It's like committees with subcommittees. How anybody got anything done? It's amazing. I couldn't even decide where to go to lunch, much less get anything done. So this is kind of cool. It was like you just drop it on your desk, and you report back every once in a while when you have your sketches, and we all stroke our chins and point at stuff, and make some comments, and off we went, and things got done. It was really cool. It was a great energy that was in that art department, and I remember when I left in '84, I was so naive. I went out looking for that very same job. Where is it? It was a unicorn. There was no job like that.
Yeah.
With 10 incredibly talented, the top of the field, all of us hanging out in the same room, just sharing ideas and working off of each other. It was the best job I ever had. I had a lot of them. I mean, I was freelance 35 years. I've worked at probably over 100 places. That was the best by far. By far.
That's awesome.
While we're talking about Satan's Hollow, I brought you a gift. While I was digging out these things we were talking about with Mortal Kombat, I happened to come across 2 of these. I'm going to give you one.
Really?
And it is original control panel, still with the adhesive back on it from the original run.
Show the camera there.
Yeah. So I had 2 of these hiding in my, because I'm such a pack rat. Right, honey? You're not complaining about that anymore, are you?
Like, that is so amazing. Thank you so much for this.
Oh, that is my pleasure. You have changed my life. You have changed my life since I mean, how long did you petition me to come down and meet my fans that I didn't think existed? I was so stupid, an idiot. But anyway, I'm glad you were persistent, and you made me come down, and then you kind of sat me down and said, here's what's really happening, Paul. You have no clue. Let me just clue you in. And now I'm doing shows and talking to fans and being here today.
Well,
all of this since I met you. So this is a small token of my appreciation for all of that. You've changed everything for me, and that's a cool thing in a really great way. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this, and thank you for saying that. Honestly, again, like video games, all encompassing. I see how they have affected so many people. I've seen 7 days a week. We see people come through the door from all over the world. Giant smiles on their face, playing classic arcade games.
And awesome.
I see people flying. They love seeing the original dedicated cabinets. Originally, when we opened, it was, let's get the game on the floor no matter what, just get it up and running. And it became this huge process of
familiar with the concept.
Yeah, it was however we could get it done. But it was always in our mindset to go and get everything, get all the original artwork. And it's so important to people, and it's playing the games, but seeing the cabinets too. And this means so much to me, and so thank you for that. And
thank you. It's my pleasure by far.
Again, when we first started talking, there's so many industry people that thought that they didn't have fans, and I'm always questioning, like, why. Like, your artwork is phenomenal.
Oh, thanks.
And for me, I've always been entrenched in the video game scene, and I talk to the people constantly. Like, what was it that made it, to you, seem like, oh, who would care about this stuff?
I got a good answer for that, actually. That's a real common question that was asked at all the shows, do the panels. Everybody says, why didn't you come forward? You're 27 years and hiding. Well, I wasn't hiding.
In seclusion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's call that like some monk on some mountain meditating. Let's say that's what I was doing. But in reality, when you work on these jobs, it's a job. Okay. It's not work. It's fun, but it's still a job. So, when you're working on a game, chances are, when you're 2/3 of the way done, you're thinking about the next game,
Yeah.
or the next job, or the next illustration, or design piece, or whatever it is going to be coming down the line. Because, it's a job, and I'm a freelancer, and I got to pay bills, and I got to figure out when this is going to get paid, and, all the fans ask, were you guys all thinking, this will be amazing when it's so huge?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, none of us were thinking that. Nobody thought that. Everybody, I thought, gee, I hope they pay me in less than 60 days like last time. It really, it's a very practical, hands-on kind of a thing. So, you do it, and, you pour your heart and soul into it, obviously. But that's what we do. That's what we signed on for. To pour your heart and soul into it every day. And if you're not doing that, well, then the business will drum you out soon enough, So I think, and everybody I know has that same attitude, that they're just, they're there for the artwork. They're glad they're getting paid for it and everything, but, that's secondary. The first thing is to do the artwork. So it's all about the next game. And I don't know, when you see, like, game has its run, and you're like, I'm done, and we're just moving on to the next things. And, when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, I was like, I guess Mortal Kombat 1 is done. And,
Yeah.
I shelved everything, and I was sad for 27 years.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, and you bring up Mortal Kombat. I know that, and that's how originally when we were reaching out to you, we wanted you to be part of our Combat Con and Shang Tsung's Fight Night,
yeah.
because, again, that Mortal Kombat cabinet artwork it's so iconic. Like, I know so many people that have Mortal Kombat tattoos, and
I saw a bunch over the weekend,
Oh.
and I took some pictures. That always blows me away too. That they would put my art on their arm, their all their parts of their bodies, whatever they're doing there.
yeah,
But really, I'm just like flattered and just humbled by that. That's just amazing. Just even find out that I had fans.
yeah.
Just to say that, to have fans. I have a fan. I was like, okay, more than a couple, I guess. So
Definitely.
yeah, so it's a very cool thing. Meeting him now and going to these shows and actually talking to and being on the floor. That's the most amazing thing of all. And everybody comes to me with a story about their game, mostly Mortal Kombat. They want to talk about whatever happened to them, that is related to Mortal Kombat. And some of them are just they're amazing stories. Some of them are heartbreaking stories, but they're enlightening stories because inevitably they kind of focused on this artwork that I never dreamed in my wildest imagination it was going to hold so much for other people. Other than to be just some sort of a decoration for an entertainment venue. It became way more than that.
Yeah.
Beyond my wildest imagination. I'm just now grokking it. Okay.
Well, and with Mortal Kombat, I know you had posted pictures of back when it was called Dragon Attack.
I have that artwork handy. I have it in the stream there. That's what they're seeing.
Awesome.
That is
nutty, huh?
so phenomenal to see that, and
that was my first meeting. When I sat down, that it was the day they changed the name, and we went through that meeting. We sat there for an hour and talked, and my pen ran out of ink, and we're really, I'm like packing everything up and going, and Ed Boon goes, oh, I forgot it. It's called Mortal Kombat now. Oh, that's something that probably should have been shared earlier, an hour ago. Now I'm like, great, I have nothing to write on. Oh, green marker, yes, great. So that's what I had to know. Yeah. So he looked over my shoulder and went, with a K. Like idiot. Oh, of course with a K. What was I thinking? And I guess there's three theories out there as to who came up with the K, and I'm not going to touch any of them because none of them are true. So.
No?
I don't know. But we know that there's an argument within the ranks as to who came up with the K. I can tell you it wasn't me. Okay? So Ed said, yeah, with a K. And then I realized I'd written it in cursive. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna think it should be upper and lower case. And I wrote it again and all caps, literally as we were walking out the door.
yeah.
And then we got the Ingrid Malmsteen thing on the side there. When I got back into when I got into my car and I was organizing my notes, listened to the radio, and Ingrid Malmsteen's rockin' lead came on, and I was like, oh, here, now I got a pen that works. So I wrote that down, bought that album.
So how, like, that artwork, it's a full piece. Satan's, like, looking at a game like Satan's Hollow. Like, how much freedom did you have, or did they give you, like, what determined whether it was a full piece of side art covering the entire cabinet, or just like
That's a great question. Almost always time and money. How much money they were willing to spend on it, and how much time they were willing to let you, dick around with, basically.
yeah.
With those games, like with Satan's Hollow, they sat me down and let me play it for, like, I don't know, however long I wanted to.
Yeah.
Which, great job, man. You can't beat that. And then after I got a feel for it, and the whole time I'm taking notes and doing sketches and all the little characters and whatever is in there, trying to emulate what was happening in the game. You obviously want the artwork to draw them in and have something to do with the game.
Yeah.
It kind of helps. So that's pretty much how it started. And then I went and did some sketches, and I still have the actual the marker rendering that I did in like '83 of the header art.
Really?
That it really didn't change at all. I mean, I think Paul Ferris wrote off on signed off on it. I've still got that. I should have brought that. Next time.
Yeah, that'd be amazing to see in person.
Yeah, I saved everything, man. I'm a pack rat.
That is, again, I've heard so much stuff was discarded, and hey, Scott Pekulski joining us. What's up, man? Have you met Scott?
No.
Oh, Scott over at...
oh, yes, of course.
Permacast.
Yes. Oh, sure. Oh, yes.
So much was discarded. So I've talked to of so many of the industry people. It's so fortunate when things were saved, and the condition, like.
Oh yeah, these films. Okay, look at the quality of the film. This was shot 27 years ago. It looks like it came right off today. This is not yellowed at all. It's look at it, man. The thing's in great shape. Unbelievable.
It's hard to see against the white background. That's hard.
Oh, yeah, with my black here. Let me hold up the transparency.
Go a little higher.
Black art over my black.
Let's go.
There you go.
How are we doing there? There we go. So that's the
that's
one
cool.
I drew, and then there was I made a film of it, and then and you see I even scratched off the edges here to isolate the dragon for whatever reason. Okay, we didn't have Photoshop, so when you wanted to isolate something, that's how you did it.
Nice.
That is.
We had a question. Did Johnny Cage have blonde hair in the original artwork?
Actually, the only part...
I see that he's kind of blonde on this one. He looks like Ken.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, actually, that was John Tobias' artwork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was the artwork that was given to me at that meeting as the style guide. So, I mean, they pretty much had it all thought out, but you can see it was pretty rough,
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, and I mean, I don't know if this is the reason, but I can pretty much guess. I mean, John was like, 5 minutes out of art school at that point, and I'm sure he was beside himself. And he's like, maybe 21 years old, and he's got his own game. I was 24 and I got my own game, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy crap, But at that point too, he had no production skills or anything. He really didn't know how to. He had this great idea and these graphics in his mind, and what he wanted it to kind of look like, but it was all very rough, and he needed somebody to polish it up and finish it up and put the detail into it that it needed to have, and that was so me. I had 10 years under my belt at that point when I showed up to do that, so
Well, and again, it is your artwork. Have you talked to John or Ed since recently, or
no, not Ed. John and I text back and forth a little bit.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, when it was over, it was kind of over for me, you know. And I'm just kind of now coming back into, you know, that seems like I don't know. It was sort of like, hey, I'm saying hi to you guys. You know, it's good knowing you're out there. And that was about where it ended. So
Yeah.
you know, yeah. I mean, you know, honestly, you know, I worked with those guys maybe 3 or 4 weeks back in 1992.
Sure.
Okay, so you know, take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, and most of it's like the MK actors. Most of them, they had that little block of time, and then
Right.
20, 25 years went by. They never said a word, and now
Yeah.
reunited after all these years.
Right.
So,
And I never even knew them back then. And I'm just meeting them now.
yeah.
I'm doing shows with, you know, with Dan Pacina, who's just an awesome guy.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He's great. And hanging out with Tim Kitzrow this weekend.
How was that?
Oh my God, I felt like I was his sidekick the whole time. Really, he is one funny guy. You cannot.
Yeah.
He's like being with Robin Williams. He's like always on.
Yeah.
The voices. He's got every voice. He's imitating them. I mean, and you know, and he'll just jump all over the place. You know, and these voices are coming out of him.
It's high energy.
Yeah,
all the
super
time.
high energy.
His most famous one was the NBA Jam voice, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
He's on fire.
Yeah. From downtown. You know? So I did my panel with him at Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and that was a laugh ride. At the end, I thought we should take this on the road, man. This has got potential. We're, you know.
Well, again, you have so many fans, and it's been great seeing you interact with people. And there's so many games that you've worked on. Satan's Hollow, Mortal Kombat. What are some of the other ones that you?
Oh, okay. 3 Pac-Man games, 3 spin-off Pac-Man games. First there was Super Pac-Man, and then Pac-Man Plus, or maybe it was the other way around. I forget. No, I think that was the order. And then an oddball game called Professor Pac-Man. Mm-hmm. That was kind of a big flop back then, but now is like kind of got this whole kind of a cult following to it.
Absolutely.
And quite recently, and I'm actually in the middle of sculpting a 4-foot-tall Professor Pac-Man for a fan.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've got a picture. I should
Really?
show you. I should have printed that. I didn't even think of that one.
So everyone asking questions in the chat, we'll get to you. I see you.
Yeah, kind of an odd thing there. Let's see if I can find this real quick.
Well, you're looking for that.
Yeah.
You've only got until 4 p.m. Central, so we've only got about 15 minutes. So make sure that is going to be. If you've got questions, make sure you type them in now.
Oh, it's glaring a little bit. That's
can
right.
Chat with Paul Niemeyer, industry legend who's worked on so many great pieces of cabinet art.
Wacko. I was with Brian Collin this weekend too. The whole weekend long. He's great to hang out with. Oh my gosh, he's fun.
So on the Wacko cabinet, like, how is it taking somebody else's art, like, concept?
That's a great question. Boy, somebody else asked that over the weekend too. That's funny. In advertising,
Al Nama saying Wacko is beautiful.
well, thanks. Wow, thanks, man. Yeah, it was all his characters and all his concept and pretty much all his work. So now I had to emulate it. Well, that was early on in my career, so that was kind of a new thing for me. But you know, I threw in and hope I did justice to it. Obviously, somebody thinks so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but I'll tell you, in advertising, that's all it is. In fact, it's funny you should say that because I just did that yesterday. I had a job when I got back from Portland, there was a job from an ad agency, a Toyota job, and they sent, here's a picture of a guy, and we want you to do a caricature of him in this style, which was nothing like anything I'd ever done before.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, we emulate the style, and it turned out great, and that's what we do, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the time, I didn't realize that was a standard procedure and get used to doing that.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest challenge was that one, because that was the first time I really had to take somebody else's characters completely and not step too far from
kind of
from
thread
the
that
origin.
needle of.
Right, yeah,
That's awesome.
and do it justice too, So don't trash it in any way. God knows, they entrusted me with it. That's the least I could do is come, pull something off that was worthwhile. So
Yeah.
there's incentive to do so.
Was there any games that you saw that you were like, oh, I really think I could do something with this. I really have some good ideas that you didn't get to work on that you kind of wanted to.
Yeah, that would be all the other ones. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, it was great to be in that art department where everybody was working on cool stuff. You'd walk around and everybody's working on pinball or a video game, and we're all off in the arcade to go test something that just came in or something like that. And there was just that great energy. So you saw that happening on their stuff. You're like, oh man, that would be cool to be working on that one. But I got to get back to Satan's Hollow. And as they had nicknamed my leather chickens is what the
Leather chickens.
the guys in the my compatriots called my gargoyles the shiny leather chickens.
They're pretty. They're very pretty.
I'll take that.
You had a question. Did you have to wear a suit and tie?
No, God, no. But I'll tell you, it was like getting into the Pentagon.
Yeah.
That was kind of a strange thing, especially in 1982. Nobody had a card with a magnetic strip on it. But we did.
Wow.
And you run that, and every month the code was changed. And if you wanted to go up to the second floor, like talk to Brian Collin, that was the R&D. You had to have a code for the elevator. It wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And this was 1982.
Yeah.
So it was
Carefully,
pretty
some carefully guarded secrets.
It was pretty funky. Yeah, I remember probably going on the third floor maybe twice the entire time I was there. That was just like the super secret, dark ops floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some crazy stuff. While I was there 3 times, customs agents came.
Really?
And the third time they found something. Yeah, they were so flush with money at the end there from Pac-Man and everything else, all the other successes, that they were buying games like crazy, and because of it, they got screwed a number of times. They go drop $1 million on a game, and they'd get it back, and they would have like 12 racks. I actually worked on one of those where, I was playing the game. That was the thing I got to do mostly was. I did the comp artwork on headers for whatever test game came through, and we'd make up a name on the run, we're going skater guy. That sounds good, and I'd spend the afternoon putting together a marker rendering of a header.
Yeah.
And we'd put a piece of Lexan behind it. I mean, it was literally on marker paper, and we put a piece of Lexan behind it and throw it in the cabinet and backlit it, and they'd go out on the street, and that's how they tested games.
Yeah.
And it was really literally that down and dirty and good. I've actually got a whole drawer full of just games that never went anywhere, that never, just like I did marker renderings for.
That was a Kickman one that was changed.
Yeah, there was Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
yeah.
That was kind of cool.
There's a gazillion of them, So yeah, we went through a lot of stupid stuff that never happened. That never became anything,
Yeah. Lava Being just asking question for Paul. Were there any games you worked on that were never released to the public that had art that you were super proud of?
Wow. Yeah, I'd come to think of it. Oh, my swan song, let's call it. The last game I worked on at Bally was called Midnight Marauders. I haven't thought about that.
Midnight. Wow.
Does it exist anywhere?
I did not know that you worked on that one.
That was all mine.
That artwork is amazing.
Oh,
that whole
thanks.
cabinet is phenomenal.
Oh my God! So it exists somewhere.
Yeah.
So you've seen it. You know what
I've
we're
seen
talking
it.
about.
It was a gun game.
Yeah.
It was an EM.
Let's see if I can find it here.
Good.
Oh,
It's
okay,
so
okay.
good.
It had. Oh my God! I can't believe this. I'm kicking myself. It had a vacuum formed space like a lunar surface.
Yeah.
And I had actually sculpted that out of clay and we made a vac. Yeah, oh my God, it exists. Look at this. Oh my God.
So
oh my God.
I am not.
Oh no!
I am.
Look at that. Yeah, the fire
That's
on
it?
the side. I saw the blueprint. I found the blueprint for that. I've got the blueprint at home.
Here,
Oh my
I'll
God.
paste the link here.
So it's an EM, and I don't normally do EMs here.
Oops. Is that it?
Uh huh.
The only reason I was buying this game was for the artwork.
Get out. Really?
And-
Oh, thanks, man. That's so cool.
I actually I don't have it in the vaults because I was like I can't justify getting an EM.
Sure.
But
check it out.
I'll make sure we get that.
Oh wow, that's
I will
crazy.
make sure that we have
The
Midnight
only-
Marauders on
The only thing
floor.
I didn't do on it was the header art. We were running real. Here's the thing. Every Friday was Black Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was probably to your benefit to shine a little bit. So I was really throwing in on this game. I knew that this was my swan song. I knew
Yeah.
that, So I was just trying to buy a little bit of time. And the deadlines kept being bumped up, until finally doing the header art was not practical anymore. So I just poured myself into the rest of the game and hoped it all worked out. And like about the minute I was like, and done, and there was my pink slip. And that was the end of that. But they did me a favor. They sent me, I was one of the first ones out. And I showed up in the advertising field right at the beginning of all the Christmas push. And I was instantly transformed into a freelancer, literally, on the spot, and just kind of rolled from there on. And I was so naive. I was still looking for that unicorn of a job for about a year and a half freelancing, still thinking that existed until finally it dawned on me. This was just a one-time thing that Bally Midway Art Department was, just a beautiful thing that happened, and you were there at the right place at the right time and lived it. So lucky you, man.
Well, you are definitely part of something outrageously special.
Yeah, that I get. That I always knew. That part I always totally knew. I was always, every day I was in awe. I mean, I between you and I would go there and think, I hope they don't find out I'm a big fat phone. Because have you seen these guys work? Oh my God, then I'm even hanging with them. That they even let me hang out with them that's what I thought. But then I'd find, I talked to Doug later, and he said, "Oh my God, I thought the same thing. I couldn't believe, everybody let me hang out with you guys." Okay, maybe that's just an artist thing. Yeah, Midnight Marauder. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I totally forgot about that until just asked that. Yeah, I'm very proud of that one. And it did get made. I wasn't even sure. I wasn't even sure it got made.
I will make sure that we track one down. I would love to
crazy.
have you out to sign it once we get it because.
And that was kind of I remember the marketing was to do something retro. They wanted to let's have a shooting game, and it was so much fun to do. It was a fun game to design and do, especially when I got to make that big lunar surface. And I'm kicking myself now. I know that I had about maybe a half dozen of those lunar surfaces in Lexan, and
really?
I think they got tossed out. I've not been able to find them to save my life. And in one of the moves, I think they got lost one of the moves.
Like, in looking at that artwork, and it's Midnight Mirage, great game, but like...
My roommate was a hockey player, could you tell? I was grabbing his equipment. Hey, this is pretty cool.
That's some armor.
Yeah, right. It was inspiration, it's transformed into armor.
Did you ever get concerned about your artwork outshining the game?
Boy,
because you look at that artwork.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That would be pretty arrogant for me to say that. Hope the damn game's as good as my artwork. Those bastards upstairs want to get their shit together. No, I don't think I ever said. Maybe I thought it. I might have thought it, but I never said it. Okay. You're cracking me up.
They were asking, Chris Larson asking, how did that work? He sculpted the stuff, and then they made injection molds out of that?
Yeah, boy, we were breaking a virgin territory there. Luckily, actually, my background is ceramics. I actually have a degree in ceramic engineering and design. So, I had ideas at one point in time of being a sculptor. I'm sculpting in foam now, so
Yeah.
I'm back to being. I'm actually a sculptor now.
Well, and
but-
I know you said you have until 4.
You got a
We're
couple minutes
close,
left, yeah.
So
Okay.
I know.
Cool. Well,
One, I would love to have you back very soon because it was barely getting started talking with you. But what are you doing now? Like,
Actually, right now, let's give Midnight Terror a plug. I'm actually managing half of the house over at Midnight Terror Haunted House, which is rated number 8 in the country
Nice.
by USA Today. Yeah,
Wow.
they just do a killer job, and it's all Justin. Cernik's, it's all his work. It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
I've tossed a little bit paint around and painted some faces once in a while, and I give some acting advice. It's all his. I'm just hanging out for hoping they don't find out I'm a phony. Oh crap! It's all done now. It's out. Damn it. So yeah, that's a great show. Come on out and see it. If
Are you local
can.
to us here then?
Yeah, it's in Oak Lawn.
Oak Lawn. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Oak Lawn, Illinois, on 111th Street, like 111th and Central.
Cool.
Yeah, great show.
that is awesome.
Yeah, thanks for letting me throw a plug in there for
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we're out of time already. Are we
Yeah,
really?
I can't believe it's already.
No
we got
way.
1 minute. I know you said you wanted to
Wow. Yeah, no, I got to fly. Actually, I'm giving a horror makeup demonstration at a makeup college.
be. Yeah.
So I got to fly to go do that. I picked some latex up on the way over here.
Oh,
so.
nice. Well, again, we'd love to have you back. How can people get in touch with you or follow you, or where can they?
Probably best right now is on my Facebook page.
Okay.
Just
People,
Paul
Lava Being asking
Paul
where can we follow?
Niemeyer. I'm trying to post regularly. I'll be posting pictures from Portland Retro Gaming Expo real soon. We had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, your
And-
posts have been just awesome.
Oh,
it's
thanks.
It's so cool watching all the shows you're going to.
Hey, there I am. Yeah.
I'll post links for everyone.
So I've got a lot of stuff that's out at Banks and Pumpkin Farms this year. I designed a ride that just opened up, a tractor ride about 2 years ago, and it's opening up this year finally.
Yeah.
I did some sculpts of some dancing cows. They're showing up. I'll be posting all that stuff. So a huge 11-foot tall ear of corn. I've done all kinds of nutty stuff lately. So just having a lot of fun. It's never work. It's never,
I just want to say I'm a fan of that shark you did.
Oh,
I saw
thanks.
it.
Wasn't that nuts?
That was amazing. I mean, I like sharks in general, but that one was done extremely well.
Yeah. I'll have to post. They made 2 versions. One's a zombie shark, and the other one was one that went to the Sharknado themed theme park in Malaysia.
My goodness.
That was why I did the sculpt in the first place. That was
Right.
the assignment was. The Sharknado theme park. You can't make this stuff up.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, wanted this huge head, and it was huge. I mean,
Wow.
it was the circumference of this table. It was just nuts,
That
and
is-
5 foot tall to the tip of the nose. It literally could have swallowed me whole if it had been a real shark.
Yeah.
So that was a really stupid fun project. I will post pictures of the two molds they made and painted them up. They are amazing. They really are. That's Gorgalore Studios. And
Cool.
Give them a plug too.
Gorgalore.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So definitely check them out. Again, I hope you can come back soon because
I would love to. Thank you so much. We hardly even you got to talk about this.
Right.
Okay. Well, I got lots more stuff. That's for sure.
All right. Well,
So thank you so much.
thank you so much.
Awesome.
Nice to have you.
And we will. That will wrap up the podcast for today. We will be back hopefully next week. Me and Pete, and maybe
I hope.
Paul.
Yeah, sure.
It's-
Next Thursday. Oh no, that's Halloween. I gotta.
Oh, Wednesday. Well, you'll be.
Oh,
yeah,
Wednesday. It's
you'll-
Wednesday. Oh no, Wednesday.
At some
we
point.
do.
If not next week, we'll get you back on when you can.
Yeah, Wednesday. I can do it. Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Huge thanks
Yeah,
to
thank you.
Paul for joining us again. Make sure you follow him on social media because the stuff he posts is just absolutely awesome. His artwork absolutely awesome. Huge thank you so much for that.
That's so my pleasure.
Means
yeah.
so much. Thanks, Pete. As always, we will see everybody I believe on Friday for a Friday mystery game. If that doesn't happen, then make sure you join us on Monday for the Monday mystery game at the Galloping Ghost Arcade. Until then, thanks everybody. This is Doc Mack from the Galloping Ghost Arcade. We hope to see you around the arcade soon. Thanks a lot, everybody.